Hey, what is going on guys? RvzStealth here, and in today's video, I'm going to be giving you guys my opinion on the best junglers for Season 5, Patch 5.5. Now there's been quite a few changes to jungle recently, so my list does look quite a bit different since the last time I've done one. So I hope you guys enjoy the video, and let's get right into it. So first up on my list, I have Nautilus. The recent changes to Nautilus's E, in my opinion, are really strong. Once you get that maxed out and you have a little bit of CDR on Nautilus, you're going to be able to spam that out a lot, because if you do have some CDR and you do have it maxed out, it's going to be on like a 3-second cooldown, and it's just going to allow you to spam that out in teamfights, get a load of CC off, and peel for your carries really nicely. His Q, his passive, his E, and his ultimate all provide some sort of CC, so he's really strong in that aspect. And he has insane single target lockdown. If you can catch someone out with your Q, follow that up with your ultimate, auto attack them to proc your passive, and then use your E, it just brings for so much lockdown. And he's also great with the new item Cinderhulk. Some cons to Nautilus are he doesn't have any mobility. Of course, you can use your Q on a wall, but that's not the most reliable escape, and he does have weaker damage compared to some of the junglers on my list. Next up, I have a Moo Moo. So, pros to a Moo Moo are he is great with the new item Cinderhulk. It just allows him to clear even faster now, and he is a very strong team fighter. Once you get to mid game and you start team fighting, if you can land your ultimate or get your ultimate off on multiple targets in a team fight, it's just gonna allow for your teammates to follow that up with a lot of damage. And the chances of you winning a team fight come late game as a Moo Moo, if you can land your ultimate on multiple targets, are very high. He's also got great level 6 ganks because of his Q and his ultimate, and he's also got pretty good damage if you build him with a little bit of AP. If I'm really far ahead and my team's doing well, I might even go full AP and Moo Moo because he actually does quite a bit of damage. I wouldn't recommend doing that though if you guys are going even or if you're behind, because he will just get blown up really quickly in team fights. But building 1 or 2 AP items on a Moo Moo isn't a bad choice because he does do quite a bit of damage with some AP. He's also got great pick potential with his Q, and he's got very strong clear speeds as well. Some cons to a Moo Moo are he doesn't have any mobility. He can use his Q to escape if he uses it to camps, but that's not the most reliable escape, and he is also quite mana hungry in the early game. So if you're feeling a little bit risky and you want to try invading a Moo Moo's blue, if you do successfully take it, then it is going to set him behind quite a bit. Next up on my list, I have Vi. So even though Vi's damage on her ultimate did get nerfed this patch, I don't think that's enough to push her out of, or push her off of my list, because she still does have insane lockdown with her ultimate, and she's got great CC with her Q and her ult. She's got very strong ganks early game and when she hits level 6. She's got pretty strong clear speeds as well. And once you do hit level 6 and you do use your ultimate on whichever lane you're ganking, if your lane partner follows up, you're pretty much guaranteed the kill, because she's just got so much lockdown and she's really easy to play because of her ultimate being point and click. She's also a very strong duelist, and she's a bruiser as well. She can build 1 or 2 AP items and then go tank after that and still do really well. Some cons to Vi are she does require communication, more so than other champions, because if you do use your ultimate on the back line and your team doesn't follow up, then you're just gonna die instantly. So you gotta make sure that you're pinging and letting your team know that you're going in, because even if you do find a pick on the enemy AD carry, if your team doesn't follow up, then it's not really worth it. And her ultimate damage did get nerfed this patch, but like I said, I don't think that's enough to push her off of my list. Next up, I have Rek'Sai. Pros to Rek'Sai are she has very strong ganks because of the mobility from her E and then the knock up from her W. She's also got very strong clear speeds because of her Q, and she's got great mobility as well because of her E. She's also a very strong duelist, and she's got strong objective control as well because of her tunnels. She's also a very strong split pusher because of her Q, and she's a bruiser as well, so she can build 1 or 2 AD items and then go tanky after that and still do quite well. A Contorexi is that she is pretty vulnerable when her E is on cooldown during teamfights, so if she does use her E to engage and she doesn't successfully lock someone down, then she can just get locked down pretty easily because she has no way of escaping. So number 1 on my list for patch 5.5 is Sejuani, and you guys probably aren't too surprised about this pick. She is even stronger now because of the new item Cinderhulk. She's got very strong CC because of her Q, her E, and her ultimate. And once you get your E maxed out, I'd recommend maxing your E second. It's on a pretty short cooldown, so you're just going to be able to get that slow off multiple times during teamfights. She's one of the strongest teamfighting junglers in the game because of her ultimate. And she's got great ganks at level 6. She's kind of like a Vi where once you do hit level 6, as long as your team follows up, you're pretty much guaranteed a kill wherever you gank because of the CC from her ultimate and the CC from her Q and her E as well. She's also got pretty good mobility with her Q and fairly strong clear speeds as well. And if you do build Haunting Guise on Sejuani, she does quite a bit of damage. A con to her though is that she does have a weaker first clear. So first up on the honorable mentions, I have Hecarim. Hecarim is really strong in the top lane right now, but if you're feeling like playing him in the jungle, then he is a pretty good pick there as well. He's got very strong ganks when he does hit level 6, so if you are feeling like playing some Hecarim jungle, then he is a pretty strong pick in my opinion. Next up, I have Nidalee. Now, I was going to put Nidalee on my list, but the reason why she's on the honorable mentions is because she doesn't provide any CC, so it makes her ganks harder to pull off, and she does require on landing her Q, which is a skill shot, to make her ganks effective, so she is more skilled in my opinion, and if you are confident that you can land your Q while playing as Nidalee, then I would definitely recommend playing her, but she is definitely not the champion for everyone. Next up, I have Fiddlesticks. So even if you don't do too well in the early game as Fiddlesticks, the amount of CC he has and his ultimate doing a lot of damage makes him a fairly strong pick even if you do fall behind as him. And come late game as Fiddlesticks, if you can get an ultimate off in a team fight on multiple targets, it's just gonna melt the enemies, and his fear is really strong as well against movement speed and gauge based champions like Hecarim, Udyr, and Volibear. He counters them pretty hard because when they're trying to run at you, all you have to do is fear them and then their engage is basically completely negated. Next up, I have Volibear. Now, Volibear is being, I think, too hyped up right now. A lot of people are thinking that he's one of the best junglers, but in my opinion, the fact that he has to run at people to engage just isn't really reliable. If the enemy team has some sort or has any sorts of CC that can negate his engage, then it's going to be really hard for him to get his Q off in team fights and even like get into a fight because he's just going to get kited really hard. So unless he gets some sort of gap closer or something, I don't think he is ever going to be the strongest pick. But if you are feeling like playing some Volibear, he is a decent pick, but in my opinion, he's not top 5 quality. Next up, I have Nunu. So Nunu, the recent item Cinderhulk coming into the game is really good for him because he was really good at clearing out the large monster in the camp, but the small ones just took him so long to clear because he had to auto attack all of them. And now with the mini Sunfire Cape on the Cinderhulk, it just allows him to clear a lot faster. And come late game as Nunu, if you put your W on your AD carry, it provides great utility for the AD carry, and he's also got great peel as well. The thing that he lacks though is damage. If you do get a fully channeled ultimate off, which is quite rare, then he does do some pretty good damage, but that's not going to happen all the time. So that is why he is not on my top 5. If he did have some more reliable damage, then he'd probably be on there, but he does have very strong peel and very good objective control as well. So last but not least, on my honorable mentions, I have Fizz. Fizz, in my opinion, a lot of people are saying that he's one of the best junglers, but in my opinion, I don't think he is that great. He is an honorable mention because people who know how to play him well can do well on him, but if you don't know how to play him in the jungle, I wouldn't recommend it. He does have pretty strong level 6 ganks, and he does clear quite well, but he does fall off late game, and like I said, unless you know how to play him, I wouldn't recommend picking up Fizz. So that is all for the video, guys. If you enjoyed, then be sure to drop a like and subscribe if you haven't already. Thank you guys so much for watching. I hope you all have an awesome day, and I will see you in my next video.